The reason why you wake up in the morning to go for work, you as a banker, is not because you really want to be a teller. It's because you want to be paid salary at the end of the month.
A salary can pay the bills, but can it build your freedom? In this episode, Ndindi Nyoro challenges Kenyans to rethink how they turn income into lasting wealth. His message is simple: earn actively, invest strategically, build for the future. For employees, that means investing in yourself, growing your skills, and pursuing opportunities beyond entry-level positions. For entrepreneurs, it means solving real problems, choosing profitable markets, and having the resilience to survive when business gets tough. Because passion alone doesn't build wealth. The goal is bigger than earning more. It's creating assets that keeps working for you. Earn, build, invest, and create wealth that lasts.
So, before I go to investments, because investments that I want to highlight is the passive side. But you can't talk about money to invest before you have it. So that is the paradox. When I come here and talk to you about investing to me, and I'll highlight later, is more on the passive side, more than the active side. So I'll start with the active one. So I'm investing, yes. Where do I get the money first? The active side of getting money are two avenues. One avenue is, of course, employment, profession, career, getting a job, being employed. Whatever semantics you talk about, it is selling your labor, selling your brain, selling your hearts, selling your experience, and trading your education. So you trade all that in a market called employment, where you get yourself and see, mimi ile masomo nimepata, and the experiences I have, and the gravitas I have to work, I am worth this much per month. So you trade it. That's one area of getting money. Because at the very least, you have yourself. At the very least, whatever you may need to sell, in terms of resources, at the very basic, you have yourself. You have your mouth, you have your heart. So let's now talk about, have they been polished and enhanced? Maybe through processes like experience and education. That's a different issue. So, this area of employment, and because I know we were many speakers, and there is a reason why I was told by Pastor T to talk about investments. So hizi zingine nita highlight tu kidogo kama hii naongea. So one thing I have seen as a business person, as an investor, we look for jobs, and for sure, looking at the data in Kenya, I mean, there are many people without jobs and they want them. But this is the truth also. There are so many people wanting to employ, they don't get the people to employ. People are there. I mean the person to fit into to what they want. So as you hustle as a young person to guide your career, know that competition is down here. Competition, let's take a bank, and I'm talking about real experiences I have seen with my eyes. The banking sector in Kenya, if you need to be in the banking hall, it's easy to get a job. Yes, it's difficult, you are looking for it, but there is masses there. The masses are more, meaning opportunities are more. But it's also more very cutthroat. In fact, there is more competition in a person working in a bank, in the bank hall. There is more competition there than in the CEOs. Ask any person who owns a bank anywhere here in Kenya. They tell you how they recruit CEOs is by poaching them. Because there are too few that can handle that kind of job. So early enough, start training yourself. What is it By the way, mfanye research. Nimechukua tu hiyo sekta moja. Any bank, KCB, Equity, any. There is a place now you unaanza kuenda juu. You realize this person moved from NCBA, moved from there to Equity to KCB. Because after a certain level, it becomes very difficult for you to get an employee. So you poach. People poach. So early enough as you venture into your career, start taking a path that will catapult you up there. Stop minding so much about how to sustain your job down here. Start focusing on how you can break the ceiling to go to where you get poached. Let me go to the other area that you... I said I'm just sharing 1 point each here so that I go to the issue of investments. So the other place, here nimepeana ni employment, getting a job. That's the first one. I only give you 1 point. Don't concentrate so much where you think there are masses. You will be shocked that there is less competition higher. So start learning. Huyu CEO wa hii bank amesomea nini? Wamefika hapo aje? It's not age. The current CEO of Stanbic Regional was previously CEO of KCB, for example, at his 30s. So it's not age. So what is it? Let me throw the ball to you. You know better because me, I have never looked for a job. So you have an expertise more than me there. So let me go to the other area that you can get money actively. Entrepreneurship, doing business, whatever you may call it here, there. Something you do actively. When you own a real estate company and you are a part of the management, you own it actively. Hapo ndio unaenda asubuhi kufanya kazi. When you own a milling company like Farisi, you are in active business unless you are a passive investor. So entrepreneurship, doing business. I'll take a little bit more time there because I believe you'll get much more money to invest there more than the other one that I talked about. The other one, I told you are the expertise. That one can't give you a lot of money, my friend. Wewe uko hapa umeajiriwa job. Una earn 200k. Na hapa 200k tunaongea ni story ya branch manager wa bank. So this is not just a job, it is a big job. 200k unaweza save pesa ngapi? Na hapa tuongee sasa chap chap, na mtu anainua mkono hivi tunasema. Ukijibu vizuri I can give you wacha nisiseme nakumbuka kwenye niko naona nitulize boli. So 200k, how much can you save from 200,000? Yes? 100k. 50. 20. Tuchukue ile Mwangi alisema ya 100k. Najua Mwangi saves everything, So 100k per year. How much money is that? Hapa hivi tukiwa hivi. Wengine hata tutapita hiyo age. So I'll be asking you a question in reverse. Ukiwa 30 years old. Hata tuseme ukiwa 35 years old. Ungekuwa hii Nairobi uko unakaa mtaa gani? Ukiwa 35 mtaa gani? Which estate? Sauti bana, tusaidiane. Mimi nawauliza nyinyi si mimi nitasema. Umoja, Yes? Ruda. Hii ni high maintenance. Another one? Very good. So, tuseme ile kakaun compound ile uko na kwako ni wapi? Ile si apartment. Tell me kama hiyo ya Ruda moja, Kawasukari, Buruburu, Roiro, bas. Tumalizie hapo. Tuchukue the median. the median of those, ile iko katikati, sikuwe ni kahawa sukari, sio? Ploti kahawa sukari ni pesa ngapi? 15 million. Quarter. Nataka tuende pamoja. Ukiwa 35, ungetaka udrive gari gani? So saa ushapita na kuuliza ulikuwa unataka kudrive gani? So usiniambia ati nauliza the wrong question. No, it is the right question in the wrong timing. So ujifanye nilikuja hapa 10 years ago, eh? So kama uko 40, ukiwa 35 ulikuwa unataka kudrive gari gani? Prado imetumika, sio? Second hand. So tuanzie hapo. So kahawa sukari, quarter plot. Na wewe unajua ni branch manager, 200k, you are saving 100,000. 1.2 million a year. How long will it take you? Ceteris paribus. Lazima mjue nimefanya economics, eh? Holding all other factors constant. 15 million divided by 12. Divided by 1.2. How long? Si mko na calculator? Smartphone, kwanza mko na ma iPhone hizi mpya. Hapana, mumefanya the wrong 0.5. So we graduate ukiwa 25 and immediately you got a job as a branch manager. Hey, you are so lucky, eh? So let's assume at 27 ndio ulipata hiyo kazi. 27 plus 0.5 is what? Uko 40. So you have done very well. Because at least uko na ploti kahawa sukari. Lakini bado hauna gari. Lakini hiyo ploti haujajenga. So nilikafanya hiyo hesabu. I may not know the route to getting wealthy, but I had already known one that will never make me wealthy. That was looking for a job. Nikaona wacha ningangane. Nilikuwa nasikia my classmate amepata job PricewaterhouseCoopers. Mwingine amepata kazi Deloitte. Hey, naona. Jusa hiyo nilikuwa na kasaiba pale kahawa wedani. Nilikuwa naona ama I made the wrong choice bana. So that's a choice you have to make early. And even if time imeenda, ujibu hiyo swali in reverse. In the next 10 years, kwa hiyo job, hata ukisave mshahara yote, itakuwa nini? So the few points I want to give there on entrepreneurship. Number one, let me start with attributes. Na mimi siongei mambo ya entrepreneurship dogo. I like kuongea vitu mind blowing. Because kama unatajirika then utajirike. Usitusubue hapa ati nataka unajaribu. If you are making it, you make it. So tuchukue Forbes. Ile Forbes mimi nasoma. Sidhani kuna siku huwa siangalii Forbes list, mtu amedrop na pesa gapi, amegain gapi. Elon Musk akakuwa trillionaire last month. Although shares za SpaceX zimeshuka. Lakini alikuwa trillionaire dollar terms. Let me give you some few attributes zile nimeona kwa mtu mwenye. You are not looking to make it. You are looking to actually make it. One thing I have seen reading these guys, interacting with the Kenyan ones, have some bit of being abnormal. That's my point number one. I'm not saying you write being insane, no. But I don't know what to write, but that's the point. Have some, ukuwe tu na kakitu ni kama hauko normal vizuri. Yani hata ukiwa hasa huku church, kuna watu kusema, huyu jamaa anakuagaje. Jikuza unaonaga ni kama, that point. This is why I'm saying that. In the entire Forbes list, top 10 of the Forbes list today, maybe 8 of those people are all new industries. Those are new sectors. Never existed in my own lifetime. Me. Why? Number one, hebu tuone hapa, Elon Musk. Kwanza hata si Muamerika, ni jamaa wa South Africa. South African born American. Elon Musk, the richest person in the world. Ebu tu analyze. Amekuwa trillionaire na sasa ni billionaire juu ya nini? Juu ameshuka. Ati kampuni inaitwa Tesla. Okay, saa hii it is commonplace. Electric vehicles are commonplace. If you told somebody about an electric vehicle that years ago, immediately a psychiatrist is booked for you. The second industry ile imemake akuwe tajiri sana ati SpaceX. Unajua SpaceX ni nini? Ati Space Exploration Corporation. What is even that? Now, ebu tuende pamoja. In the US, when you become a CEO of a company, you are paid salary, but there is also something called options. Options is, you are given targets. If you reach here, we give you these shares at this price. So what they do is this. Farisi iko hapa, unapea CEO wako target. Nimekupea hii kampuni kama our production is 2,000 barrels a day. Unamwambia sasa mimi naenda kucheza golf. If you make this company ikue 5,000 barrels a day, I give you 2% of the shares beyond your salary. So those are options. And you give them at the base price. Unampea kama 5 bob. So price ya chini sana. Sasa some of the targets, listen here. Targets ya Elon Musk ili amepewa na board ya SpaceX because he's still CEO. Wewe sasa ukituchocha venye uko busy hapa Nairobi, huu jamaa ni CEO wa Tesla na ni CEO wa SpaceX na ni co-CEO wa kampuni inaitwa Nyoro. So SpaceX amepewa hii target to redeem the stock options, grow the market capitalization, the worth of the company, to 8.5 trillion US dollars. This is the second one. You take 1 million people colony to Mars. Na ameitikia na akasaini. Just think about that. Is that normal? But even Tesla was not normal 10 years ago. So wait, it becomes normal. Just imagine, wewe unangangana kupata visa hapa ya US. Paka unapigia mhesi wako wenu, unaweza nisaidia? Jamaa, target yake, financial target, not imagination, is to take a colony of 1 million people to Mars. Na hacheki. The other company yake inaitwa Nyoro. Ati inatengeneza brain implants. Unawekwa kitu kwa akili, muna communicate na computer hapa hivi. Na ni kampuni. See a thought, is already past a thought. It's a company as we talk. There is a person called Peter Monga, munamjua. Alianza Equity Bank. Do you know he was a very successful civil servant? Very successful civil servant, going to retirement. It looks very normal until you put yourself in your shoe. There is kuna mtu nilikuwa naambia, kuna hii siku mumenilima sana juu ya story fulani hapo last nini. So nilikuwa naambia watu, sikuwa najua, you know, unasomaga social media unafikiria tu ni vitu inapita until you hear the shoe. So even this one, it looks normal. Civil servant, around 50s, go past 50. Then I want to start a bank. But I want to start it as a building society first. That is not normal. If you think it's normal, go tell your father to start one. Or you at 50, start thinking about it. And then you realize you are not normal. And the first person to tell you are not normal will be your wife. Juu atakwambia kama ni bank, ukianza hata kabla unikuje kunitafuta. Kitu ya pili. Super commitment. Hiyo story yote, first point, wacha nimalizane nayo. Eda usome Forbes list, hao wengine utaona. Sergey Brin, Larry Page, wote, new industry, go. Sasa hizi ni alphabet. Jamaa mwingine hapo Facebook. Nani alikuwa Facebook hapa 25 years ago? New industry. You go down. Other than Warren Buffett hapo karibu, na jamaa wa fashion. wa Louis Vuitton. The rest ni new industries. Meaning, they had to think abnormally. Lakini wewe, unatuchocha huku, the only business that you make you a billionaire ni kuuza mayai. All of us know mayai. So think something else. Second point, super commitment. You know, I could have said commitment, but nimeandika jina super hapo mbele. Because see commitment, it is real commitment, super commitment. If you read these guys, you realize we are so lazy as this generation. The kind of thing you have to do and push. You don't just tap. Unatapu hivi, unaona. Apana. Whatever it is that you want, it is real pushing. Why? Mungu asha kupea uhai. At least you have the ability to push. Push. If you read all those guys I'm talking about, there is a story I was being told by Peter Monga. Ameanza building society, kakona sijui branch bili tatu. Then one politician from Muranga akachukua microphone. Akacheka akaambia watu, haya. Nyinyi watu nasikia mumepeleka pesa yetu, ile kitu iko karibu kuanguka. He had a bank run at inception. Akakoperea pesa ndio ukikuja unapewa. You know, that's how a bank runs. When a bank, if you don't want a bank to run, ile inaitwa bank run. The first person to come for money, mpatie yote. Na the second, wa 10 akikujia apewe, hata wanaendaga nayo nyumbani wanarudisha. But if the 7th person akuje uanze kumwambia huna pesa, hiyo bank imeisha. So bank ikaanza running, bank run. Akakoperea pesa, kila mtu anaitisha pesa anapewa. After 2 days wakaanza kurudisha. You know, it looks normal, it's just a bank run. If you think about it, that's something to annihilate you. Hii SpaceX tunaongea hapa saa hii na Tesla 208 zote bili, both bankruptcy, was steering like this. 1 week to burn money, collapse. Sasa ndio tunasaita hapa SpaceX, Tesla. He was steering at bankruptcy. Jamaa akakoda hivi kabisa. So these things you look for normality, you guys. Normal things then, utosheke ukue normal na utistusubue. If you want to be normal, kila mtu anasema hivi na hata mimi nasema hivyo, then it's sawa. Then from today, usitusubue. Point ya 3. How do we, and it's related to the area 1. How do we view challenges? How? Some of us view them as a comma. Pause a little bit. Some as a full stop. Some as a verdict. Others as a lesson. Always try. You may succeed or learn. Because there is no one we read. Ebu chukueni Bible mzima. Uende kama Old Testament yote. Uniambia anyone we read there. He was born on a Monday, baptized on a Tuesday, married at the right age, baptized, akawekelewa mkono, akaenda shule. Tell me one. Wote unapiga kona ingine sharp. When Abraham, unangangana na maisha, challenges. If you think about those challenges now, you realize whatever you are calling a challenge is not. Wewe ni Jacob. Ati unataka kuoa kwanza your cousin. Kwanza your uncle anakuambia hebu fanya job miaka 7. Unamaliza. Munikosoe kama yalikuwa Jacob Najua naweza kuja hapa kuniongea mambo. Alafu nyinyi mnakwaruzana hebu cheki yule. Una work miaka 7. Then unaambiwa try better. Hiyo ilikuwa ya huyu. Unarudi. Unaenda ingine unaambiwa ati buzi yenye sijui iko hivi na hivi. Biology yote inaonyesha wewe huna kitu. Biology ya buzi inaonyesha ati umeabua hizi za sijui sports. Lakini ukiangalia biology hapa inakuonyesha huna kitu. So what am I trying to say? How you view challenges matters a lot. Because I know no one story we cite anywhere in the world of a person, he was born this age, going to school this age. Hapana, hakuna hata moja mimi nimeona. So read about Napoleon Bonaparte, read about Abraham Lincoln. The guy had vied for almost all available positions in America. Yani unavaa MCA unaanguka. Unaenda kuapply kuwa DC unaanguka. Unaenda una-apply kuwa karibu apply women rep. Senator. These are real stories. He vied to be an equivalent of MC akaanguka. An equivalent of an MP akaanguka. An equivalent of a senator akaanguka. Akasema sasa hizi zote I already have a record of failing in all of them. Akakuwa running mate. Hata hiyo akaanguka. Akasema juu sasa CV yangu imejaa hizi zote, sasa navaa ile kubwa ya president wa US. Jamaa akapata. Na saa hii tunamkumbuka, there is no president in the US more cited than Abraham Lincoln. Hawa wengine were being born on a Saturday and went to school on a Monday. Why do we not read them? So if you want to craft a real story of success, how you view challenges matters big time. Sasa niende kwa investment, naona saa. Masaa naenda. These are the point about entrepreneurship nitapitia. Why do it? Nilisema ya kwanza. One is that there is no limitation on how much you can make. Kwa employment, it doesn't matter how good you are. No people will meet at within the month waseme amejitolea sana tumuongeze mshahara. The Iraqi will tell you that's precisely why we employed you. So in the entrepreneurship, you get a blank check. You write it. In employment, you get a check already signed and written. Doesn't matter what you do within the month. What you are getting is constant. You may talk about bonuses and the rest. Even them, they are kept in such a manner, sitting. 2, the reason why I vouch for entrepreneurship is because I'm talking to hardworking Kenyans. If you called me for a meeting of Reze people, I would not have given this point. That in entrepreneurship and business, the more the input, the more the output. There's a correlation on the man hour you put, the commitment you put, and what you get out. That's not the case in employment. The other thing you may need to think about, I highlighted. Yes, you are doing business. In which sector? Which sector are you doing business? Is it a yesteryear sector? How are the margins? Always look for premium business. There is a small book written by one of the guys I enjoy reading about called Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel was a co-founder of PayPal together with Elon Musk and another guy called Levchin. So they started PayPal. They merged. Ile ilikuwa ya Elon na hii ikakuwa PayPal. The one you use to transfer money was initially by these guys. So there's like a book he has written, like a small one. He says, because he's now an investor, he highlights the kind of things he looks for in investing. One is a company that can become a monopoly. Second is a high margin business, because this is how business works. When you get into a high margin business, you get more profit. Profits are the ones that make you efficient. Efficiency brings down the cost. So naturally you become a natural monopoly in the long run. Because the profits you make is the same money you invest to make your company efficient. Efficiencies brings down the cost. You vanquish any new entrant when you have that kind of a model. The other thing, distinguish. That's the other point. And we make this blunder. Distinguish between your hobby and a business. Social gatherings is full of people practicing hobbies and forcing us to buy their products. Church, you know it better. Choir, mutua, praise and worship. Now that you started making kyodo, it becomes my obligation to buy your kyodo to support you. That's your hobby. Deal with it. So many times, we want to do hobbies. Mimi ni msanii. Fine. Fanya research yako vizuri. Na because unataka kuwa to make it, really make it, unataka kuwa msanii, kwanza uko na talent, sawa. Then fanya utafiti. There is no better way of judging the future but by the past. So tell me, wewe ni msanii, gifted, what do you want to become? A billionaire? Fine. Just give me 2 who became billionaire by doing what you are doing here. Oh, Dr. Dre. Oh, fine. Oh, kwao ni wapi? Because kila place iko na dynamics zake. So, distinguish. Uweke usanii pale, tujue wewe ni msanii. Ukipata pesa ni sawa. But now look for a business. Kama ungekuwa place with a market that can make you that, tunaweza ongea. If I go to Forbes list, utaona Dr. Dre ako hapo. Lakini si usanii mfanya billionaire. Ni beats by? Munaelewa Oh. So, if you look at all those, don't confuse your hobby. Still enjoy life by having a hobby. But if you realize you are forcing us, as your friends, to buy your products, you are becoming a nuisance. Hiyo hamwezi hata club nini, because many of you are already there. Ati nimeanza hii biashara ya kushona, unaona koti fulani kama ile pasi uvaa, mimi nazishona. Let the market dictate whether we have those coats. Are you getting me? So don't confuse those two. Because you have a very small circle of friends. After we all buy your coats, then where is your market? So have a product that can be commercialized. That it is me looking for it because I need it. Of course, scalability, something you can scale, grow, scale, grow, scale, grow. That's what makes the difference. The reason why in economics we say, it is not out of the benevolence of the baker that we enjoy our daily bread. It is out of their own self-interest to make money that we get it every morning. So out of that self-interest, things arrange themselves. As I'm pulling here as a baker, a butcher is also pulling. The matatu owner is also pulling. So I don't need to worry unless there is a strike. Me, I know I wake up in Rimuru, I'll find matatus waiting for me. Because in economics, resources organize themselves on the basis of self-interest. And that's what we are talking about. The fact that creating value many times is based on self-interest.